Yeah,
I think we're ready.
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, so let's move it. Hello world. Hello guys. Hi Atanas. Happy Friday. So for those who are listening to this, we are recording this on a beautiful Friday morning. And Atanas and me, we just kind of randomly met last week and had a great chat and coffee and a little protein shake. And we were talking to each other. And we have a very, very similar mindset. And we thought, okay, what's the easiest thing we can just do together to just put something out into this world? And we're like, hey, let's just start the podcast on Friday. And let's just see how that's going to go and where that's going to take us. So basically, I'm very happy to meet you now, on the podcast, Atanas. So happy morning.
Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. I have the same feelings from my side, and it was pretty weird. We met on LinkedIn, and I was like, this guy looks pretty cool, pretty interesting. He's doing so many interesting things. So he's from Zurich, so better meet him so we can build something together. And yeah, I remember that we were talking for kind of 2 hours or so. And in the middle of our talk, I was like, I better ask this guy to do something together. We can bring something good to the world. And yeah, here we are.
Nice. So basically, the podcast, so for everybody who's listening or watching that, so basically the podcast will be about the topics of health. So basically, because we are both in the health industry, but also we both kind of entrepreneurs, right? I build a couple of companies, and you are also especially building your own personal branding, which is just really, really amazing. So that's a little bit what we're going to talk about. It's going to be somewhere in between business and health and mindset and stuff like that, because we both really believe in being healthy and having just a really, really great mindset. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit. And also, I think we have both very interesting paths, because we are not coming from the health business or industry per se. We have both very, very different backgrounds. So I would just say let's kick started, and I'm going to just take over the lead a little bit here so that we have kind of a lead in there. So Atanas, just tell the world a little bit, just quickly where you're from, because you're not Swiss, you're not from Zurich, and how the hell you
I will be one day. I will be one day.
You will be one day. So just tell the people how the hell you had the idea to come into Zurich, and especially how you made it happen.
So let's go back to 2018. I was still living in Bulgaria. I'm from there originally. And I was working in this wonderful company. It was for sports betting. And it was pretty good job, well paid for Bulgaria. But it started getting a little bit boring. And at that time, exactly, I split with my girlfriend. We split with my girlfriend. And I was like, I know in this hard and tough place in my life, I was like, I need to change something in my life. Otherwise, it's getting too boring. Every day was the same. And a friend of mine, he's called Panayot, and we were studying together in Bulgaria. And once we finished the school in Bulgaria, he came here to Switzerland. And yeah, he was already living here for 3 years. He was already speaking the language and so. And one day we were on the phone, and I was like, bro, this job here, it's really killing me. It's every day the same. I'm falling asleep in the office, and it's just getting so boring. And he was like, hey, you know what? My sister, she's working in a hotel. She could lend you a job. She could help you with, kind of finding where to sleep. And we can give you the kickstart here in Switzerland. It's not going to be nothing special. You're not going to be the CEO of a big company or something like that. And I have also this choice, and the other choice was going to work at the sea in Bulgaria. A friend of mine, he was like, hey bro, I'm going to be a Baywatch at the sea, at the beach, every day. It's going to be, bro, a lot of girls and so parties. And I have these tough decisions. Should I come to Switzerland to wash dishes for a couple of months, or should I go to Bulgarian sea and to kind of enjoy a lot of girls, a lot of parties? But I took the decision to come to Switzerland, and I'm not regretting it. It was pretty hard for me in the beginning, but I kind of learned a lot of good things here. Because at the beginning, as I said, I came here, my German was so big, I knew only 2 words, and they're Reiseleiterin und 36, which which in English is like Reiseleiterin. It means like tour guide, but female tour
Yeah.
guide. And 36 is 36. So yeah, just random words. I don't know why I knew these words. I really don't know shit here. I was working in the kitchen in the beginning, like they're asking me, "Hey Atanas, could you please bring us like 5 apples?" And I go there with 2 chairs. Like I really do not understand what they mean about it. But yeah, I in the beginning I was just working in the kitchen, washing dishes. Then I started working as a maintenance guy, preparing some things in the hotel. But in my mind there was this North Star like coming to Zurich, and because I saw
Right.
this city as such a beautiful place, and I know that the opportunities here are really unlimited. So yeah, I've been working my kind of like not so high paid job, but in my mind was like Zurich, 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 learn German, Zurich, Zurich, Zurich. So this helped me really to go through those hard times in the beginning, where when I was really kind of like confused and not sure what I'm doing here.
Right.
I do not know anybody, like what the fuck you did, man. So yeah,
Right.
this helps me to come to the conclusion and to come to this big step in my life to move to Zurich. This was the beginning of the summer 2020.
Mm.
And yeah, since then I was working as a retail sales guy for a couple of months or so. Then I was digital marketer, then I was business development manager, and I kind of like I stopped working in this field, and I just sat one day and I was thinking like, what am I good at? Like, what's the thing that it has been keeping me through the whole period of that time? Doesn't matter what I've been working. I've been all the time like eating healthy, hitting the gym hard, motivating the people around me. I remember that in my first job here in Switzerland, I've been working with a guy. He was super cool guy, but he was ex-football player, but he was no more playing. And he was kind of like sporty guy, but he was drinking too much beer. And for 1 year, I managed to take him from drinking 3 beers per day to drinking 2 protein shakes per day. So
That's not too bad.
It was huge. So I really thought about, hey, I have this kind of like passion and this strength to change people for better. And something really funny, like maybe some people could use this to find their passion. I just wrote a message to the closest 5 friends of mine. And I asked them, hey, what are you going to pay me for? What am I good to do in life? And what's the best thing that you learn from me? And I kind of like extract all of those answers from my closest friends. And at the end, like the most common word, they were like coach, something with health, fitness guy, crazy fitness guy, super motivational guy. You're my inspiration sometimes. I know that when I need an honest opinion, I'm always going to hit Atanas. So
Nice.
I have those answers. And I was like, yeah,
let's go,
coach. And yeah, that's how I
nice.
started my business. And yeah, now I'm a health coach, specializing in mindset performance. I work with leaders from Switzerland or also abroad, mainly entrepreneurs and people who are trying to change the world for better, because this is my purpose in life, to really improve every day, improve myself, improve people. Like when we go somewhere, I'm going to try all the time to push you a little bit more, to try to extract the best out of you. So yeah, that's what I love doing, and that's what I'm doing, and that's what I'm going to do until the end of my life.
I like that. I really like that. I really like that. That sounds awesome. And how did you find it to like come to Switzerland? And like, so here's the thing, right? You have many people that kind of either want to go somewhere, like they either want to leave Switzerland and go somewhere to like live their dream, whatever, or maybe they're now living somewhere and they want to go into another country to come to Switzerland, whatever. And then the question will always be like, what can I do there? Like, how will I live? How will I make money? Like, how was it for you to like just like quit everything in Bulgaria, come to Zurich, and just like basically start from the bottom? Like basically, I mean, let's be honest, you're not a millionaire yet, but maybe you will be a millionaire one day, and then you're going to have the perfect story from the dishwasher to the millionaire, right? So how was it for you? Do you think you have like that humbleness in yourself if you want to try something new, to just like start at the very bottom and not having that feeling that you have to go somewhere, right? Because I did the same thing, right? I was working in banking and consulting for a long time, had a very, very high paid job. And then basically at the same time as you got to Switzerland, like in the summer of 2020, I just quit everything. I was like, oh, let's just do what I'm very, very good at and how I can help people. And of course, starting like the whole career that I'm having now and all the businesses I have in health and mindset, I didn't start at the top. I didn't go into a company and was the CEO. I didn't did like $1 million or like turnovers every year, whatever. So I really kind of quit my high-paid salary job to start from the bottom. Do you think that's something that people also need to understand, that if you really want to do what you want to do and really kind of live your passion and kind of your calling, that you have to start wherever you can start and just start somewhere?
I think that I'm calling this a restart, because you're kind of like restarting your whole life. Because imagine like you're Swiss and you've been here through your whole life, like you know this place really well. As like I know Bulgaria, but once you move to another country, you do not know the language, you do not know the culture. For example, in the beginning, I knew 2 people here in Switzerland. Like you're on a place, and from how many millions was the population of Switzerland? Like 8 millions or something like that.
Yeah.
For example, imagine I knew 2 people out of those 8 millions. And it's kind of like scary, but on the other side, like it's motivational, because deep in your mind, you're like, okay, I was brave enough to do that transition. Like what could even stop me? Like, okay, maybe I'll go to Switzerland, I'm going to start a job, maybe it's not going to be so cool, maybe I'm going to lose some money, maybe I'm going to lose some of my friends from Bulgaria, which actually happens. Like when you're not in touch with your old friends, sometimes you're kind of like losing them. But yeah, you're just like taking the risks, because at the end, I need to pay my own bills. Like none of my friends or none of the people that are saying, I know, like, this is too scary, don't try, maybe you're going to fail, and all of those things. Like, I couldn't rely on those opinions, and I just decided to try. Yeah.
100%. You said something very interesting. You said, well, you lost some friends, or the contact, whatever, to some friends that you had back in Bulgaria. So the thing is that I also lost a lot of contacts with friends that I used to have here in Zurich, and I didn't move anywhere. All right, I still stayed in Zurich, but because I kind of moved from one industry to another, and I evolved myself, and I had other people coming into my network and being like new friends. Like, I think that also comes kind of with the territory, right? When you kind of switch your life and you go like, okay, I'm gonna leave this one behind and I'm gonna go the new thing, right? You have some people that are gonna come with you on the journey, and they're gonna follow you and they're gonna support you, and then you're gonna have people that are basically kind of left behind. And I don't think this is something bad or that's something that shouldn't happen. I think that's something that will come automatically, as I said, with the territory, because you are just involving you're moving yourself, and then you also want to keep the good people around you that are kind of moving with you, the people that are supporting you. Because what's the good of having people around you that will always tell you you're doing a mistake, you're not good enough, let's go back to the old job, get the old job, get security, whatever. That doesn't bring you any good. So maybe for the people that are listening to that, I was struggling with that very, very long time, like basically a long time, like to switch into my new endeavor, kind of, because I was still being held back by like colleagues, friends, and whatever. So I think for people to understand that you will never be able to like take everybody with you. You will never be able to make it good for everybody. Like, not everybody's opinions really, really matter. Like, I think for me, if there is something that I learned the past 2 to 4 years when I started like the whole thing, it's really to understand whose opinions matter or not, right? There are like big sayings out there. You can see it on social media the whole time. They're like, don't care about what other people say, right? I don't think that's really true. I think that you have to figure out exactly who you listen to, right? Because for me personally, it really matters what people say, you know? But I really listen to my good friends. I listen to my customers. I listen to my partners. I listen to my mentors because I really care about their opinions, because I know that they only want good things from me. But then there are other people who are not doing what I'm doing. They will never do what I'm doing. They have never done what I'm doing. And they just speak.
Yeah.
Even though I never asked them. And maybe I don't really listen to their opinion that closely. So what I want to say about that is I think that in life, especially if you want to go for the big switch, like it's really important to understand and to figure out who you can listen to and who will give you good advice, who's just going to talk to you just so they talked.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. There is a really good saying, like, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
Yeah.
100%. But again, I think that sometimes it's good to listen, and sometimes, you know, like, for example, if I would talk to you and we will like be talking whatever, or let's take a very, very good example, right? You had the great pitch now in the beginning of this week, right? And you asked me for my opinion because before having the pitch, because you knew that I had your best intentions like in my mind, right? I wanted you to perform the best you can do. And I think that's very important, right? And then maybe you could ask somebody else, and then they'd be like, well, maybe I don't know if you should even do that. That's too big for you. You cannot do it, you know? And I was like, Atanas, just go in there, like I would do it that way, and then that's good. And I think that you have to figure out like who you can listen to, and who not, kind of.
Absolutely. I think that it's good always to ask people who have been already there. Like, you shouldn't ask a taxi driver about like investment things, or I'm not saying anything bad about anybody. Like, it's just not his expertise.
100%.
I cannot go and ask, for example, you cannot come to me and ask me for directions in Zurich, for example, because I'm not so good in the city, you know, because
right,
it's my hometown. 100%. But if you ask me for health, I can speak for an hour's, days or
100%.
So yeah, if I need direction, I'm going to ask somebody who is driving, who knows the city well and who is local. But if you need something different, like, go to the right person to ask. And you said something good, that you should be really picking on the people that you're listening to, because sometimes even your closest friends could be a little bit toxic, or even your family members, because they're trying to protect you. They're somehow like, as you said, like, no, maybe this is too big for you, chill, piano. And so, but at the end, like, nobody knows your vision in the head. So
right. And like the cool thing there, 100%. And the cool thing is, they don't even meant to hurt you, right? They just don't know how to help you, right? And they just want to still do the best for you, or give you the best advice. Because in the end, let's say that's very like natural and kind of psychological. Your parents, especially your mother, she will always want to protect you. Always. It's going to be like that. It was like that when you were 1 year old. It's going to be like that when you're 30, and it's going to be like that when you're 60. If she's still around, she will always just want to protect you. And the best thing for to protect you is to kind of go the easy way. Let's go the easy money. Let's just good job, be employed. Don't worry about life. Just do your thing, you know?
don't be risky, don't take big risks,
Yeah,
like, ooh, you know, this could hurt you, but no.
100%.
Life doesn't work like
100%.
that.
100%. All right, folks. So I think we are already like almost 20 minutes into this, right? So
Yes, but
time flies.
you should share a little bit more about yourself, because I talk it here and we've been speaking about what I'm
100%.
doing. Please, Chris, share something more about you. I'm also curious.
100%. So let's move to it. So basically, as you can maybe hear, I'm not sure, I'm Swiss, based in Zurich, grown up in Zurich, born and raised in Zurich. My parents are from the French part of Switzerland, so this is why I am bilingual. I grew up basically working since I was like 15 or 16, did an apprenticeship in like commerce, and then I moved from there, did my studies in business, got the bachelor degree in business administration, was working marketing, banking, and then also consulting for almost more than like 10 years, which was very good. I evolved a lot. I had some very, very fun jobs, some jobs that weren't so funny, but like most of the time it wasn't too bad. But at some point I just saw that it wasn't like my super like calling, you know what I mean? And then like 2 years ago, I basically got laid off of my job. So I lost my job, as many did or still do these days. And then of course, there was my question for myself, like, what the fuck do I do, right? Do I go back to whatever I know and kind of go for security and for easy and just figuring out whatever? And I was like, oh no, man, let's just fuck the whole thing, right? Fuck the whole system, just do whatever I want to do. And this is actually when I started, like where I literally started all out. So I went out and just built a company where we now do a lot for companies. So the whole like aspect of corporate health, where we go into companies, we coach the people, we train them both physically and mentally. So we have a sports program for employees, we have mindset program for the employees, and everything is actually built around the aspect of winning the day. So if you guys follow me, everything that I talk about is just about how to win the day, because I really think that this is the most important thing. It's just about how you can win today. Don't worry too much about what's going to happen in a year or two, but what can you do today so that tomorrow will actually be better for you? So this is actually what I teach, or I coach companies with my team of coaches. And then also I do that privately with private person who just want to go for another step. That can be in their own career, just going for the next job, or just like going self-employed, building a business, stuff like that. And next to that, in the last like 12 months, I had the chances to also build one cool company, which is called Slightly, where we kind of built mentality giants into companies. So we wrote a whole 1-year program on how to coach people in their attitude and mentality. And the coolest thing about the whole thing is that we actually take the best practice from sports to business. So we are speaking to a lot of professional athletes or former professional athletes about their principles when it comes down to attitude and mentality. And we are able to kind of put that into the business. Next to that, I also am the co-founder of a construction company where I just do stuff like branding, coaching, and marketing. So that's a little bit of what I do. So basically, I think that I would describe myself as a coach for mindset and health. But next to it, I think that I'm also a little bit of an entrepreneur and a company builder. I don't like the word entrepreneur too much, to be honest, because everybody nowadays call themselves entrepreneurs, even if they haven't built anything yet. And I think that's a little bit of a confusion right now. Also, the word being a coach is very confusing to me, because everybody's a coach, even though they don't live by what they say. So I think, like, for the past 2 years, if people ask me what I do, I just told them basically what I do. I never call myself an entrepreneur or a coach or whatever, because a lot of people call themselves this, but they didn't really do the thing. And I'm doing it for the last 2 to 4 years, everything that I'm doing right now. And I think that now there is a time where I can really call myself being able to like help people on how to be healthier, how to have a better mindset, and also maybe how to build a company, or how to try to build their own company and the whole process through it, because I have done it 3 times now. I've done it 3 times. Were not the last time, I'm pretty sure about that. So I have a little bit of knowledge and experience on how to do this. And in the end, I am on my own journey myself. You know, like, I think there is also something that's very, very important. If people still listen right now and are still watching this right now, or maybe they're going to see it later on LinkedIn and stuff like that. When I listen to people, like awesome people, like I listen to podcasts, audiobooks, whatever, of very, very successful people, I always think they have figured it out, right? I always think they are the bosses of the life, whatever. They the fuck have not figuring out. Like, they're still moving, this just trying, they're figuring out and just doing the thing. And I think it's the same for me. I can bet it's the same for you as well, Atanas. If you're listening to that and you go like, oh, these 2 boys are like, they're doing well, whatever. Trust me, we're still figuring out every day. Like, we're still figuring out, we're still moving, we're still shaking, we're still doing stuff, we're trying stuff. I think that's the process. Like, it's so curious and weird nowadays that we really think that the people that we see on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Spotify, we go like, oh, there are bosses. They're like 30, 40, 50. They have figured out life. We have not. Nobody has. Really not. And we all struggle. We all have issues. But I think that's the cool thing. It's the cool thing that you can actually understand that this is part of life. It's part of life to struggle, to figuring out. And if you can kind of like this, and you can make it part of your life to just keep struggling and trying and just figuring out and just live in that adversity, I think that's really cool. I think that's where actually life happens and where it starts to be very, very fun. And it's even more fun if you can surround yourself with people who are actually kind of in the same struggle and kind of struggle together and just kind of trying out together. Then like shit's really cool.
Absolutely. And I think that in the core of everything that you're saying is like learning, because many people, they go to school and once they're 18, 20 or something like that, they're like, oh man, forget about studying, forget about learning. I'm just going to work now and the life is going to be easy. And they kind of like stop learning. And this is a huge mistake in my opinion, because I think that all of those successful people that you've been talking about, they learn every day. Like, doesn't matter if you're listening to Elon Musk, Buffett, or all of those famous names, like they all the time say, I'm reading shit amount of books, like I'm reading a lot, I'm trying different things a lot. So I see your background, so I could say that you're also reading a lot, because this is in the center, like learn every day something new.
100%. 100%. So yeah, go.
I just wanted to ask you about, you said something really interesting, that I think that we're both like not so happy with this health coaches, entrepreneurs. Like these guys are everywhere, like and the guys really do not know what they're talking about. For example, I'm getting approached by people on LinkedIn almost every week, like, hey bro, do you want to start making 10K per month? I know the secret. I can teach you how. And you see that this guy is somebody who is likely not making 10K per month. Like, how you can teach me how I can do 10K per month if you're not doing it? And the good thing is that you have been in the banks, for example, you've been consulting all of those people there around, and you've been surrounded by those people, and you know the problems, you know what's going on there, you know the struggles
100%
of a daily banker, and you know like
100%
what's in the mind of this guy, like what are his or her struggles. And when you walk to work, you know that you have those thousands of things in your head. So that's something that I also really appreciate, that you have been there, and that's why you popped out. You're like, oh, I need to do something about it. There is nobody who is doing such thing in Zurich, so I'm gonna go for it because I know those guys, and I'm also passionate about fitness. So why not mix
100%
my passions and my knowledge so I can deliver the best?
Yeah, I think that's super important. I think there are two things. First of all, you really need to know what you're talking about. There are a lot of topics that I would be very honest with you and just tell you to go see somebody else, right? For example, on a very high level, I can talk to you about the whole nutrition thing, right? I can tell you what to eat, what not to eat. If you want to go very deep, or you have like big like issues with your health, whatever, I will send you to a specialist, right? I'm not saying that I can do everything, but I know people that can help out. It's the same when we go into mindset, right? I am very good at teaching people how to go into daily routines, how to learn, how to have a great mindset, how to work on their attitude and mentality. I can really do that. If you have some deep, fucked up stuff about yourself that has been there since your childhood, I am not the right person to go to. Then you have to go see somebody that is very specialized in like how to talk to you and stuff like that. So I think that's very important when somebody approaches you with an issue, that you don't kind of see the money on their face, but just be like, how can I help the people? Absolutely. Can I help them? Yes. Can I not? Do I know somebody that can help them? I think that's very interesting. And the most important thing for me, and I know that's also true for you, mate, it's like basically when I talk about something, like if you guys follow me on like IG or LinkedIn and you see my posts that I do, like my videos, my quotes, whatever, I basically live by that. This is basically me, and this is how I live, right? I never preach something that I don't do myself, right? I just do the shit. I work like a fucking horse. I'm healthy. I work out. I help people. And this is basically what I do. And this is basically my life. And this is basically my lifestyle. I think this is an issue sometimes, that people just preach something and they do something else. So basically, I'm just pretty real with what I do. And I really stopped maybe a year, 1.5 years ago. I really stopped with the idea of pleasing everybody. Like, I don't really matter. Like I am who I am. That's who I am. And you're either gonna like me or you don't like me. And the people who don't like me, you're very free to go see somebody else, unfollow me. It doesn't matter. And the people who like who I am and what I do, like let's just talk. You know, I think that's very important. Like, I think people just want to please everybody, and then they're gonna like switch their kind of emotions when they're like around people. I think in the end, you just have to be who you are, and then people that really like you and they want to be around you, they're gonna come automatically, right? So just in the end, to wrap it up, it's like just be who you are, do your shit, and then just take it from there.
Really well said.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, maybe to wrap it up. We have been talking in the beginning. We were like, well, let's make it like 20-25 minutes. Of course, we are a little bit over time, but that happens when we like talk to people that we like about topics that's good. So I would like to wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, I would like to give the people like something cool. And for that, Atanas, if there is something, just something that comes out of the blue, but I like that. Like, if there is something you can just tell the people that basically kind of change your life, that could start right now by doing. That can be reading, journaling, meditation, doing yoga every morning, working out, going for a walk. One thing, when people go like, oh, I'm just lost, I don't know where to start, like, what would you tell them to do? Like, what's your like go-to thing?
Funnily enough, I would say all of the things that you mentioned, like the yoga, the walks, the fitness, and so on, the journaling. But what was really, really helpful for me was walking. Sometimes, mate, I just go for a walk without direction. You know, I know that I'm just going for a walk for 1 hour. And I'm just like walking, maybe briskly walking, a little bit faster than usually. Because this is exercise, like it's kind of like cardio. I'm sweating, I'm a fit guy. And if I'm walking a little bit fast, I'm still going to sweat and engage my muscles. My thoughts are like all around. I'm
going crazy.
Yeah, it's going crazy. You're thinking about so many things. I'm getting out of nowhere so much cool ideas. So yeah, walking, this is my thing. briskly walking, go for a walk, move your butt, because something that I'm going to just say this and we can stop. Something that's really important to think is that most of the people are sitting. We're all the time like that. Your legs are not straight, and like you're all the time sitting on the chair, like with all of these COVID things. And people do not realize that their blood circulation is not okay like that. We're
100%.
not made to sit in front of the laptop through the whole day. We're made to move.
100%.
So
Agree.
move your blood around, please. Go for a walk. Go for a walk today and think about me and Chris, those two motivational guys. So do it for us, do it for yourself, do it for your kids, do it for the legacy.
I love it. I love it. Taking a walk every day, I think that's super cool. I'm just going to wrap it up and just go for me. You can see it in the background. I would just tell everybody, just start reading, right? Don't read shit like 50 Shades of Grey or like Harry Potter and stuff like that. Just go for something there is like for you personal development. There is like motivational, whatever. And I really think that if you can do it, like just read like 2 or 5 or 10 pages every day, that's just gonna start things. And then from there, just do it like a couple of months, a year, whatever, read cool books. And out of these cool books, you kind of gonna be able to take the next step. That's from my side. And then I would say, let's wrap it up. I think we're good. We have talked a lot, right? And then for everybody listening, that was now the first episode. It's not going to be the last. We're going to keep it going. We don't know if it's going to be on a weekly basis, maybe bi-weekly basis. We will see about that, but we're going to hit you with the nice topic that we have been talking about around health, business, and mindset. All right. So Atanas, do you have anything else to say, like to finish it up?
Yes, I have an idea for the next topic, for the next week.
Love it.
To make the people kind of like expecting something. Let's talk about books, because you are passionate about it. I'm passionate about it. So in the next episode, guys, we're going to share kind of like our favorite books. Let's say top 3, top 5.
I like that.
Something like that. Let's do it.
I love it. So next time it's going to be about books. Guys, let's go. Hit it. And as always, just make sure you can win the day.
Bye, guys.
All right. Ciao.